okay, I thought. You created us to love you, for us to turn to you in love and to experience your love, to receive and experience your love. But why do you need these? Just pop us into heaven, love us, and make us love you. Program us to love you. You'll make my dog love me. Do the same sort of thing. I kept on coming back to the same issue. Just do it. Okay. Still couldn't see it, and I was almost through the Quran, and I thought either I'm dumb or this scripture just never really got to it. Okay, so I didn't give up. I thought, okay, what's the next natural thing to do? Okay, so we're here to develop this relationship of love with God. The Quran tells us that, if we are believers and we do good, we'll experience great joy and peace in this life, not only through our relationship with God, but through complementary relationships with all the people around us in this world will be a one for us of peace and serenity, even though we have to struggle and survive and suffer. But I couldn't see, how this all tied in with this suffering business and why he couldn't just put us into heaven. So what's the next natural thing to say? Okay, so we're created to have this relationship of love with God, to enter this relationship, to experience and receive all that he has to offer us. So the natural thing to do is to study the two partners in that relationship. What does the Quran have to say about us, the believer? What does it ask of him and her? What does it require of them? And then what does the Quran tell us about God? And then is there some essential nexus, some essential connection between them, and does it have anything to do with these? Because if the Quran doesn't show that, then the essential link that links all this together, that pieces it all together, is missing. And as I thought to myself, whoever this author is, and by now I knew he had fantastic genius, even though he came from the primitive confines of the most backward, most uncivilized sector of humanity, of people that had no literary history, really, to speak of, no great works of literature, no scriptures that preceded him, even though he came from the desert of culture, even though this came out of that environment, and the mind behind it had to be tremendously and phenomenally genius to come out of that surrounding and produce something like this. If that essential link was missing, I knew that, he was great, but, and extremely great. But, what do you expect? How could anybody answer those questions? Nobody in the history of humanity has been able to answer them. Okay, so I thought, first I'll see what the Quran has to say about the believers. What does it require of them? Then what it has to say about God, and see if there's some essential link. Are you following me? You're giving me the note. Get off the stage. Okay, I'll do my best. It's a deep subject. We're almost done. Bear with me a few more minutes. I'm sorry, really. I know Siraj Wahaj, when he gives these sort of speeches, he always says, okay, I'm finishing up now, and then 10 minutes later he says, you thought I was telling you to... I won't say that, but just give me a few more minutes. Bear with me. Okay, quickly. What does the Quran ask of the believers? From the Quran's many exhortations and its descriptions of acts and types of individuals loved by God, it's not difficult to compose a partial list of things that the Quran wants us to do, which it calls good deeds, time and time again. To believe in God, to have faith in God, to have a relationship with God, and to do good. So what does it describe as these good deeds? Well, as I read through the Quran, it says that, can I take this away? Remember, intellect, choice, suffering. It says we should show compassion. Show compassion. We should be merciful. I have the references here, but just excuse me, I'm not going to list them all. We're running out of time. We should be forgiving. Forgive others. We should be just. We should protect the weak and defend the oppressed. Defend the oppressed. We should seek knowledge and wisdom. Knowledge, wisdom. Bear with me, ladies and gentlemen. We should be generous, truthful, and we should be peaceful. And we should love our fellow man. Love others. I'll just give you one verse because I know we're running out of time, Madam Speaker. Truly those who believe and do good will the most merciful endow with love. And to this end we have made this scripture easy to understand in your own tongue, so that you might convey a glad tiding to the God-conscious and warn those given to contention. To this end we have made this easy to understand,